We come to near the end of the day, but we wouldn't leave you hanging like that. We've got our headline speaker, who only 2 days ago was racing around the track in Mexico, has taken the time out to come and join us here. I personally am very excited as a big sports fan, and Formula One being one of my favourite sports. But without further ado, let's welcome to the stage Williams Formula One driver, Felipe Massa. Woo. Welcome, Felipe.
How are you?
Yeah, good, good. Yourself?
Yeah, it's good. Hello. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here.
I told you, we got the event was postponed last year because of a hurricane, so I promised everyone we would bring some big hitting speakers. So we couldn't get much bigger than you. So
For sure, yeah.
we thought we'd close the festival with you. So yeah, so 2 days ago, you're racing in Mexico. I have to ask, obviously, being a Brit, Lewis Hamilton winning his 4th title. What's it like being in the race where the title is decided?
Well, first of all, I think it's amazing also what Lewis is doing. The 4th time he win the championship, also beating so many records like the pole position record from Ayrton Senna that Michael Schumacher beat, just at the end of his career, which was quite difficult. So I think for the amount of race he did, it's just a really great achievement, and plus winning the title for the first time. So I think he's definitely doing an amazing job for Mercedes as well. Yeah, I think everybody wants to see the title decide on the last race, on the last corner, maybe at the end, of the championship. But I mean, he deserves it, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, and how have you found the cars this season? Because they've certainly been a lot quicker, haven't they, than they were a couple of years ago. Has it been much more fun? Have you kind of gone back to proper racing like it used to be?
Yeah, I think the cars now is a lot faster than the cars we had until last year. So maybe we're doing between 3-4 seconds quicker than how it was doing last year. So it's a lot more difficult physically for the drivers. The car is a lot not faster in terms of speed, but in cornering, a lot more downforce. Yeah, I think for the driver's point of view, it's a lot more fun. We just need a little bit more noise from the engine, but maybe we'll come, in the near future, I would say.
Perfect. And talking of change, obviously, the ownership has changed of Formula One.
Yeah.
And that has opened up a whole new world in the sense that we're able to get more insight into what you, the drivers, are doing before, during practice, in the warm-up. And as a result, you've created quite a following in social media and communicating with your fans. So how do you, I suppose, create the content that you put there and think about the content, and how do you engage on a consistent level? Because I'm sure you get asked questions every single day, every single second in the social media space.
Well, I think it's really positive for the future of Formula One, because Libet Media Group, first of all, it is a group that is looking for a long term, of Formula One. So I would say Bernie, I think everything he did at Formula One, it was amazing. But I think you cannot have only one person with 84 years old controlling everything. So I think the world now has changed massively, like all of you guys know, with the social network. So everything now is on your telephone, is on your computer. So everything you're doing, everybody knows straight away as well.
Yes.
So I would say it's quite positive for Formula One. So Libet Media is just at the beginning, but I think the idea is very good. So the idea of trying to make the Formula One more a show, I think you're not going there just to watch the race. I think you need to go there to enjoy your Sunday, or to enjoy your weekend, or to bring your kids, or like a family, weekend to enjoy, I would say, like you see a lot in the US with the American football, with the NBA. So you go in there to enjoy so many different shows, and I think the idea of Libet Media is trying to do that. It's trying to really to improve Formula One and to make more an event like for the families to enjoy so many different things for your kids, for the family, I would say, And I think that's really positive. I mean, maybe you saw how was the 2 races ago in Austin, the big show, like
Yes.
a big, presentation, trying to make the show, because the race is the race, but I think everything around it needs to be like nice and a show for the people.
Yeah. And how much of your time are you spent in the social circle in terms of putting together content for social media? How much of your day are you kind of answering messages?
I think I'm doing myself, many things, because I think I like the social media, but I think it needs to be yourself. I think it needs to be, you need to pass to the people who you are and what you like, what you don't like, I think, it needs to be yourself. And I think I don't like so much also to post something that is not you, or maybe to show like somebody that is not you, which I think is a little bit fake. So I think sometimes I like something that I post, and I think the people can understand and can understand who you are also if you show the people who you are.
Yes.
Like what you're thinking and what you like, and I think that's really important, to show the people who you are in the right way, So
and
that's what I'm trying to do, actually.
No, absolutely, and it's very admirable what Williams are trying to do. You're trying to be kind of the Formula One brand of the people, right?
Yeah.
And your role in that, being an ambassador, we've seen a lot of conversations, particularly in the sports room over the last 2 days, about how sports stars are kind of great ambassadors for goodwill, not just for their sports, and that's something that you are very much involved in various guises.
That's what I said also before. I mean, I think it's important that you're trying to participate, you're trying to give your opinion for what you're doing as on your job, but also for what you believe it needs to be different, or needs to be better also for maybe Formula One, or even different things on your life, or different aspect as well. So yeah, I think it's nice.
Yeah.
I think it's quite positive for also the fans. For the people to being together and trying to understand things that sometimes not so easy, especially the technical side of Formula One,
Yes.
which is quite complicated. So, and I think now things is getting a lot easier for the people to understand.
Absolutely. And what are the biggest challenges you face in trying to put that content out? Do you have any guidelines you have to stick to, or can you literally go carte blanche in terms of what you can post and what you can't post?
No, I mean, I think you need to understand what is your limits, But I mean, you can do whatever you want, actually, But you need to understand what you're doing, the professional you are, so many things around, or maybe even sponsors, or maybe even your image, so you understand what you can post, but I mean, you have nothing against what you're doing and what you're not doing,
Wonderful. And I suppose, talking of kind of your sponsors, do you have to do a lot of work with those? Is it kind of driving, practicing, and then you do a different amount of engagements? How much of your time do you end up having to spend there?
That's you're not only driving the car, so you're doing so many things around driving the car, around competing on the races. So you have definitely a lot of a very important job with the team. So I'm going a lot to the factory simulators, because now you cannot test anymore. So you cannot really, let's do a test in the whatever track to try different parts of the car, new parts. You cannot do that because testing is actually quite expensive. So you definitely have teams like maybe Mercedes, Ferrari teams that they have a big budget, but you have also teams that they suffering, with the budget. So and then you're spending so much money on testing. Maybe it helps some teams, but doesn't help the others. So, and then it makes things a lot more expensive than it is already. So, if you cannot test, simulator is our test. Actually, you spend the whole day in the factory trying all the new parts, different things on the simulator that is creating like the big pieces and the parts that is going into the car. For the race weekend. So it's part of the developing, a part of meetings that you need to do with the team, so many different areas. So it's not only driving the car, it's also working, a lot with the factory. That, I mean, our factory has more than 500 people, you know, that are working for Formula One. So it is a big company, you know, that is working just for the Formula One. So then you have so many events with the sponsors, with the PR events, and that is part of the job also to make, you know, things going in the right way, but also to promote, you know, your team, yourself, and the image of the team as well.
And are you as competitive outside of the car in things like social media with the other drivers? Do you kind of see each other and you see content from your fellow drivers and everyone's kind of competing to see who can get the most engagement or make something viral?
Well, I don't think really it's a competition. I think it's definitely it's nice to follow also the other drivers, to understand what they're doing, and you know, I think you're definitely competing on the track. That's the competition actually. You know, you wanna be in front. You wanna really being better than whatever drivers you're racing. But I think, you know, outside is just having a good relationship. For sure, you're having maybe better relationship with some drivers than the others, because also is a big competition inside. But and yeah, I mean, I think it's a nice feeling, you know, to see what they're doing and to understand, you know, which type of personality the drivers has compared to the others as well, you know.
Yeah. So you talk about, you know, competing on the track as well. How do you kind of get yourself in the right state mentally when you know, it may be that you know you're not in the fastest car on the grid, but you really want to kind of give yourself a chance of getting you know, in a top 10 finish, etc. How do you prepare yourself if you think maybe you're definitely not going to win the race, but how do you get yourself and your mindset?
I think you need to prepare to take the best out of the car. You know, if your car is not competitive as the Mercedes, for example, because they are maybe 1.5, 2 seconds quicker than you, you know, is a big difference. But you are competing with other teams, and I think maybe the competition in the middle range is a lot more difficult as well, yes. Because I mean, you have like you're fighting with tens, with maybe 2, 3, 4 teams, and you know that if you're not doing the perfect lap, I mean, you can lose many positions. So if you are in the car that is, I don't know, 2 seconds quicker, if you make a mistake of 2 tenths, you're still starting second or third, yes. You know? So when you see that the gap is a lot more tight, it's a big fight. And definitely we are fighting with Force India, Renault, Haas, McLaren. So it is like 4 teams that we're fighting for very small difference. And so it's definitely, you need to try to take the best out of the car, trying to make a perfect race all the time, perfect qualifying. So yeah, it's a big rush, but yeah, this is part of the competition, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, we were talking about fans earlier and engaging with your fans. Where do you, besides Brazil, where else are you finding the fans the most engaging around the world?
Oh, I have so many countries that the fans, they are really crazy for Formula One, and they really like you, respect you. For example, I mean, Japan is amazing. I mean, if you see how much they know about you, how much they follow you, you know, and you're going to race, they are such a incredible people. Italian also. I mean, you see how crazy they are for Ferrari, and I also raced for Ferrari for 8 years.
Yes.
So you have so many fans, so many people, and the Italian people, they are so nice as well. I would say Mexican is pretty amazing, how much they love Formula One. And if you see, I mean, the last sector is in the middle of yes. Kind of a stadium. And so amazing to see the energy of the people. They are around, they you know, full all the sessions, on the qualifying, on the race. So they are really nice race to do as well. And definitely I'm Brazilian, so which will be the next race in a few days. That is just amazing feeling to race at home, yes. In Brazil, and also in the country, in the place that you born. I mean, born in São Paulo, and Interlagos is like you know, the circuit and the place that I spend most of my time of my life. You know, so it's just amazing feeling to go there, and the Brazilian fans is definitely a race that you work a lot because I have so many events to do, but it's a great feeling.
And when you're in those different countries, do you use different social platforms to connect with them? Is there, do you use Instagram in one place, Twitter in another? What's your kind of
I think you're
platform
trying to
of
use
choice?
everything you have now all the time, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. So you're always trying to, maybe you cannot post just the same thing because then it's not really nice, but you're trying to use everything in a different way everywhere you go, and I think that's really what you need to do all the time. It's not only one platform that you need to use, I think.
And what's the strangest thing you've ever been sent in social media? What's the strangest
I have
request
so many
or the strangest
things.
comment?
Definitely, you have people that they have nothing to do at home. They're just there to, to send some things. Sometimes in the positive way, sometimes not in the positive way. But I think most of the people that is following you, you see that they like to follow you. They like to understand and to know what you're doing, and then trying to participate of your life. And I think that's really nice, because you just talking, but maybe not even talking, but you have the relationship with so many people that you don't even know. Yeah. And I think that's really great, to be. Sometimes things happen and you understand it straight away because people sending things to you, or it is a very big platform that you know about things that you don't even follow, you don't even really are even so interesting, but because of the people, and I think it's really nice.
Yeah. And what's the most engaging piece of content that you've posted and you may not have thought much about it, and maybe something that you'd created in your head for a while? What's the kind of thing that's really resonated?
I had some nice things that I posted, also, from myself, but also, I think once Daniel Ricciardo was at home in Monaco because we live in the same building, and he was there, and then my son has a little crazy kart, and he was driving, and then Daniel drove, and then we create like a race. Daniel against my son, and I was like filming, doing the commentary the race, and I had maybe more than 20 million viewers.
Wow.
It was really
wow. I'm just thinking about the size of your apartment to be able to go-kart around it with
it was
Daniel
the
Ricciardo.
For sure, he destroyed a lot the terrace in my apartment for this crazy race that he did, with me also. So my wife was not so happy, but anyway, we need to have fun.
And who won? That's the important thing.
Him, because it's quite light actually,
Oh,
so
yes.
he understood how to drive the crazy kart on the terrace, and his weight was helping massively, I would say.
Yes. And I suppose one question I've always wanted to ask is, how did you get into F1 in the first place? What was were you always a need for speed? Was it via family? What was your kind of introduction to Formula One?
Well, actually, I was always in love of sport, but also competition. So I was a kid, I was going there with a bike, and I wanted to race. With the skate, I wanted to race with my friends. Then my father gave me a little motocross when I was like 6 years old. Right. And I was in love. I wanted to be a motocross rider, and then I was a little bit too crazy. I was, scratch myself and, getting a little bit too crazy with the 2 wheels. And my father said, I think maybe it's better 4 wheels instead of 2 wheels. And then we went to he bring me to the go-kart, to drive the go-kart for the first time. And when I drove, I knew what I wanted to do. I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to be a driver. And I was always pushing my dad to be a driver. He was a driver for fun. He was driving like in the touring car competition for fun. And so for sure, he helps me to show me what I wanted to do in my life. But I was always pushing him a lot. I want to be a driver. I want to race. I want to race. I want to race. And I always love that. I mean, I never really thinking about I want to work in the, I don't know, whatever doctor or factory, whatever. I never had that in mind because when I drove the go-kart for the first day, I knew what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, I managed to do a career that I never imagined. I was able to achieve everything that I achieved as well.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something to look forward to. What's your greatest achievement? What's your greatest achievement on the track so far?
I think, you have, I had many victories on my career. I fight for the championship in 2008 that I lost in the few meters, the championship. But I think the most incredible thing that I never thought it would happen is for sure winning the championship is a dream that I still have. But winning in Brazil, the race, wow. It was something that I was always dreaming to achieve. And I think when I won in 2006, it was the first victory I won in Interlagos. It was like a dream come true. So the most incredible day of my career. Then I won again in this race that I was fighting for the championship. But I think the first victory in Brazil is something that difficult to explain.
Yeah, and we talked earlier about F1 and the changes and the fact that now it's kind of evolving with the new world. Where would you like to see the sport go over the next few years? What do you think it should do next to help it kind of engage more with the fans? We saw in America, obviously.
Well, I think we're racing many amazing countries. To be honest, Formula 1 is getting more races every year, and we're doing like 20, 21 races already. You never stop. You're always in the airplane. Traveling all around the world, and I think we're racing the amazing places. But I think the idea of also Formula 1 is trying to put the Americans, more in love of Formula 1, and I don't think really is impossible. I think definitely maybe the idea should do more races in USA. I think it's really good, and I think it's really important. Also for the sport in general. So maybe we can have some more races in the USA. I think especially now with the Liberty.
Yes.
So which will be nice also for Formula 1. But for sure maybe in some other countries, some other places. But we race in many different countries already. So.
Yeah. And we touched earlier, you're obviously friends with Daniel Ricciardo. Who are, besides yourself, who are the nicest people in the pit lane?
Well, I like him because we have a very good relationship. And Daniel is a funny guy as well, coming from Australia. And I think he's quite open, and Brazilians, they are very open as well. But I would say maybe they are quite similar the way we are also compared to the Australian. So plus I don't have any problems with anybody, to be honest, but definitely you have different personalities from drivers from one part of the world, or from other parts. So some drivers very cold, like the Finnish Kimi and Valtteri. So they are, for sure, they are good people, but they doesn't like to talk so much. And but definitely maybe a driver that I have more closer relationship is maybe Daniel.
He seems like fun, and Mark Webber also seemed like fun, so I think the Australians are quite open to having fun. Before I hog all the questions, does anyone have a question in the audience? I will spin around here.
It's quite easy today.
Yeah, it's quite easy. They're getting tired, thinking of the end, thinking of Halloween maybe and trick or treats.
Yeah.
To win the championship.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because for sure I feel good to stay in Formula 1 for another season. But we are in conversation with Williams. I don't know what's going to be the decision, but for sure I want to know very soon to decide my plans as well, if I stay in Formula 1 or not. So I'm ready for everything, but maybe in the next days we will see. Thank you.
Talking of which, it's interesting to see Alonso go out and do the circuit cars, the Indy 500.
Yeah, I think it was nice.
Is that something you would ever do? Would you like to look at?
You never say never.
At some point? Yeah.
But I think
Just not in a
definitely,
Honda.
I mean, when you're racing Formula One, I think I concentrate in what I'm doing, but after maybe everything is possible.
Good. Is there any more questions?
Over here.
Yes.
Hey, Felipe. What do you think of Formula E?
Yeah, I think it's part of our future, I would say. Maybe if you see that, I think the combustion engines, I don't know how long we will still have in the road cars, you know. So I would say maybe in the few years, most of the cars will be electric, you know, which is part of all these changes that we have in our world, I would say. So I think it's definitely a category that it will grow a lot. It's growing a lot. If you see, we have maybe already 6 manufacturers company, and maybe we'll have 8 very soon. So I think that the Formula E Championship has a good future in front. Yeah, maybe can be the next step of my career. Yeah, I think so, because for sure the car, you can never compare the Formula E car with the Formula One. It's completely different planets, you know. But I mean, I think when you're not racing Formula One anymore, I think it is a category that you race in so many great places. I think you have so many also things around the racing, which is the sponsors, I mean, the ideas for the future. So many things that is changing that I think it can be, I mean, you need to understand when you stop Formula One. You stop your job, kind of, you know, very early. So I'm 36 years old. That you still have so many things to do, and you need to understand what you will do, and which is not only driving, but I mean also to have a job, to have something. I mean, you cannot stay home. I mean, I'm always traveling every week, and you cannot stay home not doing anything. So you need to create a job. You need to understand something that it makes you working but happy, you know, in the same time. So, and I think maybe Formula E can be an interesting job, not only driving, which is what you love to do and what you want to do all the time, but also, you know, thinking about other things at the same time.
Oh, one more. Oh, behind us. Yes. Sorry. There we go. I'm coming to you two guys.
Sorry, I was
I'll
just on the back for you.
Oh my God.
It is just a microphone.
No, I'm just wondering, how is it to have a female director in F1?
Yeah, I think it's very important because, you know, we live in the sport that everybody, you need to get the best from the best people from everywhere. So if you see that also in Formula One, in Williams, but also in all the other teams, Williams is an English team, but you have so many different people from different countries, you know, working. And I think it's important to try to get the best out of. So we have some engineers, female. We have some people that they are coming from a sport that it looks very a male sport, but I mean it's changing a lot. And I think it's important. I mean my boss, which is Claire Williams, so she's doing a very good job. So, and I think it's very important to mix, you know, that. And maybe it would be nice to have a driver, female driver, very soon in Formula One. And I think that would have been fantastic as well.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer. There was a gentleman there.
Can I go?
Yes.
Hi, Felipe. I heard that you are negotiating a possible sponsorship for your next season. How do you think a brand can benefit from associating itself with a Formula One driver, with a Formula One racing team?
I think a lot. I think Formula One, as I said, I mean, it is an event that you have so many things around. You have the race, competition, but you have also the amazing paddock area, which you can negotiate so many things there. You can bring your clients, you can bring your what is important for the brand of your sponsor, you know, and you can mix with a company that is doing sport, but you have a lot of technology around. So I think and especially now, I think with the social networks, with the, you can trying to communicate and trying to show the people a lot more than in specific different companies, you know. So I think it's very important, really. It is a sport that you can mix so many things. And yeah, I think it's quite important, definitely.
And then we had a question over there.
Hello, 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 Mike. Hi, Felipe. In your opinion, is Formula One better or worse without Bernie Ecclestone?
You missed your conversation earlier.
Yeah. Well, my opinion is that, well, I like Bernie. I think what he did for Formula One is amazing. So if you see how is Formula One since a long time, I mean, it is a very important sport. People love it. But I think, you know, Bernie, he has also his style that he wants to control everything, you know, everything. And maybe he doesn't know also how to send an email from his phone. It's true. And I think maybe the direction now is a lot more professional. Is not only one person controlling everything. You have, I think Liberty Media is like divided by, I mean, the boss that is doing just the technical side, the other one that is doing the sporting side. They have a CEO on the top. You have also a big investment on the social network. So I think that's a lot more important for the long-term future of Formula One.
Okay, I think. Oh, one last question. Here we go. He's back.
Well, my son is actually, I support him in the sport. You know, I really push him in the, I need to do sport. I don't need to push a lot because he loves anyway. So, but he's playing football. He's completely crazy all the times in the skate park with his scooter, jumping, and sometimes he's also, I bring him in the go-kart. So I push him in the sport because I think the sport is really important, you know, for the kids, I think for the mentality, for so many things around, for the healthy. So, but I think he has all his example to say, I want to be a driver, because he's always in the racetrack. He's always following me and everything. But I am his dad. I mean, I think the most important thing is that he decides what he want to do, not his dad, you know. But if he say, listen, I want to be a driver, definitely, I mean, I will support him as much as I can as a dad, and also with the experience I have trying to help. But I think he needs to decide what he want to do, so which is the most important thing. Thanks.
Thank you. Well, Felipe, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you very
pleasure.
much.
Thank
We're not over yet, but let's have a big round of applause for Felipe. Woo. Excellent. So, over the last 2 days, people have been entering the survey we talked about earlier, and this is for Pick Well. This is for someone to win a ticket to the World Cup in 2018.
So I decided who will win.
Yeah. Who have we got?
Felipe Massa.
Well, from JC to Go. Yeah. You've already got a new career.
No, it's Marcelo Petruccelli.
Thank goodness you read that rather than me. Okay, well, you're the winner. Well done. Yeah, of course.
Congratulations.
Well done. We don't have the prize with us, but our lovely friends from IMS and Comscore will take your details and send you the prize.
I think I need to turn it. Your card. Congratulations.
Well done, thank you. I'll give that to the guys at IMS and they can send you your prize. Thank you. Okay, so Felipe, thank you very much.
You.
Well done. What a great way to end the festival. Thank you, man. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
What a great way. Well, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for staying with us. That is the end of Festival Media Latam 2017. We will see you next year. Thank you.